Who wants to become a millionaire? You probably do if you're watching this. I know I do. And what you need to know is it's a hell of a lot easier than you think. Hi guys, Anthony here to teach you about everything finance. A lot of questions that I get from friends, family, and also people on YouTube is asking me how they can save more money and how they can become rich. Right here on this channel, I want to teach you about everything finance. I work in the world of finance and I see how people operate on a high level on a daily basis. I also understand the difference between professional finance and personal finance. I have a lot of friends and family and people on YouTube who want to save more money. They want to become rich, and truly I believe that investing in financial assets is a long-term way to wealth. And it's a way to wealth which everyone can achieve. Right now you're working in a job and even 6 figures can seem like a long way away. But when someone tells you, like me, who's sitting on the other side of the screen and you're watching this sat in your living room, and I'm telling you that 7 figures is achievable, and if you work in 2021 you can get there, then you're probably looking at me thinking, what is this guy on? However, I am here to tell you that hitting that 7-figure target is extremely achievable. And honestly, anyone, no matter what their education level and what their job is, can achieve that. What you need to remember is that most people do actually want to become millionaires. However, people go about it in completely the wrong way. How many people do you know who put money onto the lottery? As they turn around and say, when I become a millionaire, I will do X. They won't put any money away and they won't invest. But one thing that they will do is they'll buy a stack of lottery tickets every week. The odds of winning the lottery in the UK are a massive 14 million to 1. That is worse odds than being struck by lightning or being hit by a car. And if you're anything like me, you'll probably want a method which has a higher success rate than 14 million to 1. As with anything, it's just important to start. Here in the UK, 15% of the population have no money saved, and 1 in 3 people have less than £1,500. Now, those people aren't going to become millionaires unless they win the lottery, so make sure that you're not in that group. Whilst that is a scary stat, it's incredibly believable. Working in the world of finance, I see a lot of people who earn a lot of money, but I also see a lot of people who don't earn as much money but act like they earn lots of money. We all probably have those friends who buy lots of drinks when they're out, wear designer clothes, and have a nice car. However, we all know that all of that is put on the credit card and they have absolutely no money saved. And those people may look like millionaires, but they're not actually millionaires. So knowing how much you need to save and how much you need to invest is so important. So you're sitting here at home thinking, how much do I need to save and what is my number? One thing you have to remember is that the way that I'm going to tell you to become a millionaire, you're not going to have to be reading through lots of financial documents. You're not going to have to read lots of finance books. You're also not going to have to read finance statements and become an expert in accounting. What you're going to do is just be able to put a certain amount of money aside each and every month and just let the stock market and investment markets do the rest. The key principles are starting early. Whilst you might be watching this and saying, oh Anthony, I'm too old, I should have started investing 10 years ago. Well, investing right now is the next best time. And don't put too much pressure on yourself, just start investing. Next is investing regularly. Getting yourself into that habit of investing that money and putting it aside so that you can watch it compound each and every year. This is so important, as it means that you don't have to think at the end of each year or when you're older that you need to put huge amounts of money into the investment markets so that you can hope that it returns lots and lots of money. By doing something consistently, little and often, you make huge gains. And finance is exactly the same. Just saving that little bit of money each and every month, you'll be surprised at how much you'll be able to save in the future. So I'm going to tell you how much you need to save at each and every age. This is so that you become a millionaire when you hit the age of 65. I know 65 for a lot of people can seem like a long time away. However, that's a time where most people, especially here in the UK, will retire. And you don't want to be retiring poor. So making sure that you have $1 million in investing assets will mean that you have a significant nest egg so that you don't have to worry about running out of money when you retire. This means that if you start when you're 20, you'll just have to invest just under £300 per month to hit that £1 million target when you're 65. Obviously, when you get older, it gets more. So when you hit your 29th birthday, you'll have to invest £560 per month to hit that target. Now moving into your 30s, you'll have to invest between £600 and £1,200 per month. This is a result, as you get older, you're getting close to the age of 65, meaning there's less time to allow the gains of compounding to take effect. This is exactly the same in your 40s, where in your 40s you'll have to invest between £1,300 and £2,986, so just under £3,000 when you hit your 49th birthday. And when you get into your 50s, you go from 3,300 right the way up to 1,650. Now, one thing you have to remember is that as you get older, you will have paid off a significant amount of money in things like your mortgage on your house and also maybe school fees and bringing up your children. So when you do hit your late 40s, 50s and 60s, you'll have more money to invest and save. However, please remember, just starting early can give you a massive head start. So whilst this might seem like an incredibly long and arduous journey and you'd rather just win the lottery and someone give you many millions of pounds, there are actually many millionaires that are out there in the world and many millionaires who I've met have saved their money in exactly the same way. These millionaires haven't been hitting home run after home run. They haven't made huge speculative investments. Of course, there are many people out there who have, and there are many people out there who have become incredibly successful and incredibly rich by doing it that way. But that's high risk, high reward, and for many people it just won't work. But a more consistent and more conservative approach is to save regularly, invest into the investment markets for a long term, and then before you know it, you will have many hundreds of thousands of pounds there at your disposal. So once you save this money each and every month, you need to ensure that you invest it into the finance markets. Make sure that you're looking at exchange traded funds or index funds which track the market. This way you don't have to worry about looking at financial statements or understanding exactly how a company works. You'll be able to buy a whole financial market in one go, which means that you're buying slices of some of the biggest companies in the world, and you'll be massively diversified. So you won't have to worry about one company falling on a certain day. You'll just be able to track the market over the long term. And as we've seen from history, if you invest into the stock market, you'll probably average returns of around about 10% per year, which isn't bad if you just buy something, hold it, and not even touch it for the rest of your life. But also one thing that I have to say is that if you're looking at some of those numbers and looking at your age and thinking, Anthony, hold on, that is way too much money and I can't afford it right now, then honestly, don't worry. Hitting that million mark, having that arbitrary goal of retiring at 65 and returning 7% a year and investing that money at that rate is obviously a good goal to have. However, you have to make sure that you're tailoring it to your own personal circumstances. If you can't afford that number right now, then don't worry. Just put the amount of money that you can afford, because some money is better than no money. And having that number of £1 million in your head is a great target, but even if you don't quite hit it, but you've been saving regularly from your current age up until the age of 65, then I'm sure you'll have a significant nest egg, which will be far greater than most of the population. You'll be in a much better position to weather, say, some financial hardship that you might encounter, and also you'll be a lot less stressed when it comes to retirement or having to spend a lot of money on a big expense. Say you want to buy another house or you want to go on big holidays. So honestly, don't put that pressure on yourself. Just start investing early with what you can afford. Well, I hope you've enjoyed today's video and I hope it's made you understand how becoming a millionaire is more achievable than you probably think. It might be a long way off right now, but believe me, start early and start investing and you'll be fine. And if you have enjoyed today's video, please hit that like button. And if you haven't subscribed already, hit that subscribe button and I'll see you next time.